Hello, Gold participants from around the world. I'm Fleur Bickford, Program Director and MC for Gold Lactation 2016. I'm here today chatting with Kay Hoover, and we're talking about her upcoming presentation titled When There Is No Research to Back Up Practice, IBCLCs as Lifelong Learners. So welcome, Kay. We're happy to have you with us today.
Well, thank you so much. It's so good to be here with you today, Fleur.
So to start with, maybe you can just tell us a little bit about how you got into the field of lactation. I know you've been working in the field for about 30 years now and done a lot of wonderful things within the field that I know you're going to tell us a little bit about during your actual presentation. So maybe just tell us a little bit about how you got started. What was it that drew you to the field?
I had been a La Leche leader for 15 years and working with women in the community through the groups and also doing telephone counseling. So I felt like I had a lot of experience, and the field came about, started with an exam, and so I studied to take that exam, and I learned so much from studying for the exam that I thought, well, if I don't pass it, at least I have all this wonderful knowledge that I've gained by studying for the exam. And I can remember reading Dr. Ruth Lawrence's book and kind of crying through the first 5 or 7 chapters because I really couldn't understand anything, and passing the book along to the next person in our study group and saying, start with chapter 8. Now I can read Dr. Ruth Lawrence's book from the beginning and not be too overwhelmed. But it was an interesting experience studying for that first exam. There just weren't very many books about the subject.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, and that actually leads into my next question that I have for you, and that is, I'm really curious over, the 30 or so years that you've been in practice, what is the biggest change that you feel you've seen in the field during your career, and what's one thing that seems to have stayed the same over the years?
Well, I think one of the big changes has been the information that we have about medications and their impact on breastfeeding, and the healthcare professionals being more aware of the safety of medications during breastfeeding. It used to be that mothers all the time were told that they couldn't breastfeed because they were taking a particular medication, and now they seem to be much more aware of checking out the medication from a good resource rather than from the package insert that by law has to state, consult your physician if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, which makes it sound as if the medicine would be a problem, when in reality very few are a problem. So that has been a big change. We still run into this problem now and again, but nowhere near as often as it used to come up. So that is a big change I've seen over the 30 years. What stays the same? The mothers doubting their milk supply. I don't think that has changed over the centuries. That women still worry, is the baby getting enough? How do I know the baby's getting enough? And when the mother asked me that question on the postpartum floor, I was just asked that question today. I say, you don't know, because you can't see the milk going in. And so it's a matter of trusting that your body was able to create this beautiful baby, and your body will continue to be able to nourish your baby for the next 6 months without anything else. So I think that hasn't changed. Mothers are still worried, is my baby getting enough?
That's interesting that one hasn't changed, and be really interesting to look into why that is, but that's definitely a big one for sure. So perhaps now you could tell us just a little bit about what our delegates can look forward to in your presentation and what you hope delegates are going to take away from your presentation.
Well, I hope that they're going to take away from the presentation the fact that they have the ability to influence practices of other lactation consultants, and that there are many ways that we can help this newly emerging profession. When I started out in the field, nobody knew the term lactation consultant, and now there are jobs available in this profession. You can find a job and earn money being a lactation consultant. That didn't exist when I started back in 1985. So there have been many changes, and by sharing my own personal experiences, I hope that I will encourage others that you too can take your phone and take pictures and make them available for the profession. So that's what I'm hoping people will get from it, that there are many ways that we learn and many ways that we can share information, and you too can do what you have seen other lactation consultants doing over the years.
Okay. Kay, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today, and really looking forward to your presentation. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of your conference.
You're very welcome. For our delegates who are listening, you will be able to hear more from Kay during her live presentation on April 18th. So we look forward to having you join us then. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye for now.